Big Boy's neighborhood. It's like a reunion in the neighborhood, man. We got the boss, Rick Ross, in the neighborhood. We good to go? All right, and then welcome back to the neighborhood, bro.
Feel good to be here, baby.
You smell rich, homie.
Yeah, you do, Doug.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
did you know that?
Nah, that's my first time hearing that.
Oh, really though?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
bro.
it smell rich.
And even when I came back in, I was like, man, there's this scent of people that smell rich.
It's an aroma.
And yeah, and it's not just a cologne. Yeah. Oh, no, it's definitely you. Yeah, it's definitely you because it don't smell like this all the time. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different scent.
Yeah, but it smell rich when you walk in here, man.
That's a good
When
thing.
you say rich forever,
Rich forever, baby.
how do you know that?
You know, for one, you can't judge.
I
being
believe it
rich.
when you say it, though.
Yeah. No, real language. It ain't about a certain amount of paper. It's just about being able to keep a smile on your face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I guess that's true wealth to me.
I heard that.
You know what I mean? Because you could get paper, and if your health deteriorating at the
Yeah.
same time, you know, what's the true wealth? You know what I'm saying? So rich forever to me is really just waking up and having that smile on your face.
I heard. Is it better to wake up rich?
Oh, it's great. To wake
Yeah,
up
ain't
rich.
it? Yeah. He was like, man, because I woke up a certain way before, big. Like, yeah. He almost was like, really big. That's almost a stupid ass question.
That
Like,
online shopping is amazing.
as it should be, bro.
Click,
As
click.
it should be. Hey, man, album number 10.
10.
How crazy is that? Because, man, for one, we lucky if we get album number 1.
Believe that.
And then
albums.
sometimes we hear today, gone tonight. You know what I'm saying? 10 studio albums.
It's unbelievable, but I'm going to tell you, I remember the first time I ever heard Too Short say that in a rhyme. Album number 10. And that's exactly what I was thinking. Yo, just getting one album.
Damn. Yeah.
Just getting one album is a dream come true. So, man, it's amazing, though, and it's all love.
But also, man, boss, we in a different time where back in the days, everybody was like, oh, Source, I need 3, 4, 5 mics. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a critic now. Everybody want to, we want to gotcha moment. We want to shoot everything down. So I feel like even now, not that it's harder, but it seems like it's harder to get to those real next albums, though.
It is, most definitely. Like you say, the time frame has most definitely changed. Well, now, social media, online, where, it's real easy to do something goofy and be popular
Right.
Quickly.
for the moment. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But we come from a different vibe. We in a different circle where we can't do that. We just got to remain innovative and dope. You know what I'm saying? At the core of this movement, it just got to be dope. You know what I'm saying?
Why is this Port of Miami too?
I just felt like
worthy of?
I feel like, it's kind of like when I first heard Tupac had a double CD. It took me back to, just having one album is a dream come true, but Pac releasing 2 at one time. It was a statement that was made. Maybe as a fan, you couldn't really see, but as an artist and a writer or a producer releasing 2 albums, it was a statement that was made. And I hope I made that statement coming back full circle to my 10th album. And Port of Miami 1 being, everything I built the empire on, just me coming back. And I want to have that challenge of comparing it, because to me, ultimately, I just want to, be even sharper than I was back then.
It's a celebration.
Believe that.
How did you decide who's going to be on Port of Miami too?
It was ultimately, what felt right. You know what I mean? Because I did do a lot of collaborations that I, put to the side, and I may use later on, you never know. But it's just really a lot about, what really comes together at the tail end. Some production couldn't get replayed right, and I was like, yo, we'll try that again. We ain't got time for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of different things.
So you're extremely involved, though. You know what I'm saying? And
Most
you can
definitely.
tell from just the way that damn near from my day one of knowing what's going down with you, that you've been very instrumental on what you sound like, what you look like, who you deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Who's
Ownership.
involved.
You know what I'm saying? So nothing has changed. I'm pretty sure that you just got even more keen on what that outcome is.
Most definitely. I always been involved with it because I always knew what I wanted it to feel like, look like, smell like. You know what I
Hello.
mean? Straight up. I wanted it to smell rich, baby. That's
You
gonna
got
be my
it.
new vibe right there.
Hey, man, how do you keep from not being stereotypical or goofy, or we get caught up in the now? Like, oh, man, I need this now. But it seemed like it's always been this Rick Ross path
Right.
where we never looked at you and say, man, what is he doing?
Right. Because it's like, I stick to the script. I was the OGs I studied that came before me, the Ice Cubes, the Eric B. and Rakims, they showed me what the gear was like. You know, they was on the Dapper Dan early, and we still, you know, we still get it tailor-made. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's what inspired us. And to me, fashion went hand in hand with the music. And the way you conduct yourself go hand in hand with the music. That just all go hand in hand with
Does
being
it
a
get
boss.
easier or harder to make music for you now? Because now there's an expectation, there's a catalog. Is it different when you go in to record now?
I most definitely, you got to challenge yourself, to me. It's easy to become relaxed after you've accumulated so much success, but how do you continue to grow? How do you continue to be better? It's just like
And challenge
having
yourself,
the number one, you know, radio show in the U.S.
Yep.
You got to still find a way to challenge yourself to be better.
Right.
We just don't want to stay on the same level. You know what I'm saying?
Continue to evolve.
Right.
It's been an amazing comeback. Not a comeback. I would say welcome home for Meek Mill.
Believe it.
How was that celebration when he came home and bringing him back?
Man, it just felt good. You know what I mean? I always knew Meek, you know, had a special story to tell. You know, when we came up with the record in the studio a few years ago, Tupac back, and we shot it on the West Coast, and no way was I saying Meek was Tupac.
Right.
You know, Tupac was, you know, he one of one.
But you always paid
Can't be
homage, though.
touched.
But I always pay homage, you know what I'm saying? But I saw that same struggle that that Meek was going through that I seen in Pac as well. I saw him going through the probation situation, the charges that he beat, the ones that was hovering above him.
Yeah,
and
being
I saw
sticky. You know what I'm saying?
And I saw the person that he was, and I understood his purpose. Homie got a big purpose.
Yes, he does.
You know what I mean? And I knew a lot of people was going to gravitate toward him once they saw his story. You know what I mean? So I'm just grateful MMG gave him that platform to take it to that next level once again.
Go ahead, love.
Sorry. Do you think that people are now giving Meek a lot more respect since everything happened and him being locked up and coming out?
I just
than
feel
before?
like, you know, I feel like everything happened at the right time. You know what I mean? I believe everybody understood him paying his dues and being a dope lyricist as well as being a stand-up guy. That's important before you get to a certain level.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, in
so.
this culture, this is very real. We embrace this on a whole nother level. So being a cool dude and a dope MC, that's cool. That'll take you a certain spot. But when you really certified, it allow you to go
But you know
to a
what?
whole
Having
nother
a
level.
purpose.
Boss, it sounds easy now because everybody subscribed to it. Everybody's like, oh, Meek. You know what I'm saying? But early on, people didn't subscribe to it the same way that you saw it. You know what I'm saying? It make a lot of sense. And I've been rocking with Meek for years, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, it was like they didn't understand it or they didn't want to touch it. You saw it back then what a lot of people are seeing now.
You know, I judge you not by what's your value right now. I judge you based on your potential and how, you know, how that fire burn in your heart. You know, and it's very few people that I come across that want to be successful as much as I do.
Yeah.
It's very few people that for years I remember when, you know, when we walked around, yo, I love this bottle. And they was like, yo, you holding it too much.
Right.
They don't get it.
You don't stop.
Yeah.
Nah, I love this. It's going everywhere we go. Same way when I bumped into Nipsey. God bless the dead.
Yes, sir.
Nipsey, I got my Nipsey dog tag on today. But when I ran into him in 2009, I understood.
You saw it.
He got a purpose.
Yeah.
Yep.
This ain't just about rhymes, raps, beats, because we all get better. And that's what it's about. When that fire burn in you, you understand we far from perfect. But once you perfect what you're doing, you become a real threat.
But you know what,
Living
man?
life.
I've seen where, you know, with Meek from Philly, of course, our very own Nipsey Hussle, the marathon continues, rest in peace.
Better believe
You mentioning, you know, MCs that's from Los Angeles as well. I didn't think, you know, that a lot of people hadn't checked on. But I do got, like, you've always represented home plate, but you recognize what's going on worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Like you open to it and you don't mind throwing it back. Usually people are on some mind. This is my. But you'll throw it back to different hoods, different coasts, everything.
Because that's what it's about. And when you study the game and you realize the ones that, you know, had longevity, they moved a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It's always a lesson in the way people, move. You know what I'm saying? I watched Death Row. You know what I'm saying? If you're a young artist, it's a lot to take from that. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, you know how much the streets and the game love Pac. You know, but we got to take something from that.
Yeah.
We watched how Suge move.
Yeah.
We got to take something from that. Big homie fainted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got to take something from that. We got to learn something from that. We got to apply that. And that's all I want to do. Real talk.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, love.
What was the biggest thing that you feel you learned from watching Tupac's legacy?
Oh, man, for one, you know, Pac level of passion is, you know, unsurmountable. You know, nobody, I feel like, really spoke the way Pac did, just from his records, his approach, and more importantly, the amount of music he accumulated. It let you know that this is my life, and I'm finna pour it all into the streets. I got so much to say, and I mean this. You know what I mean? He didn't just sit around all day. Homie was really putting together some work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that really spoke more to me than anything. You feel me? Versus when you compare other artists, I know incredible artists, but they only put out one album every 8 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, Pac could release something every 2 weeks.
What do you tell some of the so-called youngsters that's getting in, that either they're hungry or you see them coming in that either someone told you or something you didn't hear or you just want to say it to them?
Your coach shouldn't want the success more than you want it for yourself.
That's dope. The coach shouldn't want the success. Like, man, how many coaches are really getting out there doing touchdowns? Like, stop it.
Right.
Yeah.
He shouldn't want it more than you. You gotta want to touch that end zone.
For yourself.
Do
You know what
you
I'm saying?
feel like it's becoming, and not that anyone's not putting in the work, but do you feel like it's becoming a little bit easier
It's
and
a lot
people not
easier.
and people not taking
It's a lot
it
easier.
as serious? We pissing on plaques now, and you know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
know, it's a lot easier, and we all know that. You know, I don't have a problem with that because the game gonna change.
right.
The game will always change. But it's a lot easier now. You could do something goofy. You could do a dance. You could go pull up to the gas station and pump the gas on the cement and, you know, whatever they do. And it could trend for 2 days and you could have a hit record.
Yeah.
But once again, that's not what we looking for. We looking for the longevity. Are you a legend?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We talking about 10 albums.
Yeah, 10
You know what I'm
albums.
saying?
10 albums.
Like that right there, man. Even when I was just looking, I was like, 10 albums.
10 albums.
And you
catalog.
gotta think, man, yeah, and we've done this a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Better
And
believe it.
and it's never no, oh, remember when, or do y'all remember? Like you also make sure that you stay in people's faces just enough too. You know what I'm saying? How do you keep yourself so relevant to what's going on with today?
For one, I believe I could base a lot of that on my relationships that I have with other dope MCs. You know, even on the year off I took, you know what I'm saying, one time for Black Bo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My health situation. Let's say last year I kind of just, you know, was putting together Port of Miami 2, but I collaborated with me and Nas on the Creed 2. You know, that was a joint Mike Will just reached out to me, yo, whoop, 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 long story short, me and Pusha T. You know, Hard Piano on his collaboration and a few other dope collaborations. Those are records that I, you know, did with other homies, you know, on my year off. So as soon as I come back on top of the year, me and Drake, back and forth, Money in the Grave, Gold
Such a good
Roses.
one.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
yeah.
Come on, man.
As well as so many others we did.
Come on.
Do you remember the first time you and Drake ever met? You guys have a list of tracks.
Yeah, we got a list of
Hits.
records. I know it was in Miami. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was out there with Lil Wayne, so pulling up to Hit Factory. You know, I met him right out the gate. And right out the gate, I forgot which record we did first, but we did some I believe it may have been a Khaled joint. Whatever it was, you know, we just, from right then, first time.
Hey, boss, that Money in the Grave. We watched all
I
that
love it.
Toronto Raptors, and we was like, yeah, he gonna release a song, and we thinking like, oh, he about to burn up like a basketball record.
Yeah, like something
You know
like
what I'm
that.
saying?
Homage
And then
to
we
the
looking to
Raptors.
the right, and y'all came from the left. We was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, shout out to Drizzy, man.
do you
OVO.
know that feeling? Do you get that feeling like, wait till they hear this one?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got that right now about the album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about the album. You know what I'm saying? What makes this one special as far as like collaborations and then just the Port of Miami too, like just earning that name. You know what I'm saying? Like
and I take that it's so near to my heart. You dig? And that's nothing to play with to me. So to me it's so important. And album number 10, it's like I hit the reset button on that same passion and hunger when they ain't have nothing. That's just the same way I'm approaching it. And it's a lot of different reasons this album's special to me. You know what I mean? You know, this is dedicated to Black Bo. And,
What was that relationship like, man? Because and how do you pull yourself up when you lose someone that's loved and so instrumental, not just business partner, homie, like somebody that's like, man, we built this is
Family.
us. We breathe together.
Because, you know, first and foremost, when I think about Black will have a smile on his face like you tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know you ain't crying, you tripping. Black Bo was just one of those type of soldiers. He was just a special dude. And you know, that's what he loved to watch me do the most.
Yeah.
Black just would always have my back and just sit back. You know, just do whatever it is you want to do.
How do you come out of the dark place? You know what I'm saying? Like when you get used to doing something so well with somebody.
Oh man, it was different. This was different. You know, this was my partner. You know what I'm saying? When I bought cribs, I always thought about this where we gonna be fishing at. And he was always in the equation.
Yeah.
So this you know, you never fathom that. But it's something you gotta embrace. You know what I mean? Because you're going to lose a lot of close ones.
Yeah.
And if you was blessed to have close ones that you really loved, you got to embrace it and move forward and do what you know they will want to see you doing.
Do you take that pain also as motivation where you're like, man, this is when you say he would look like, man, no, this is what he want me to do.
Oh, most
because it's
definitely.
easy for us to just kind of lay down. You know what I'm saying?
You can't though.
Yeah.
We done came too far. We got too many. We got a true purpose. You know what I'm saying? We got a real family. We got a real team. We got real talent around us that deserve these opportunities. And we got to make sure they capitalize on that. Shout out to Sam Sneak, my
Hello.
DJ in the building, but he's also an A&R. You know what I mean? Shout out to him and Erica. They A&R this project. You know, all the beats that you hear coming through, they come through Sam Sneak. Yeah. So he the first one that get to hate on your shit. So,
He's like, that's a hard no.
So,
is he in a position to tell you like this ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
do you listen to that as the boss? Cause you
most definitely, because I know he's a solidified. You know, Sam Sneak got that uncut hate.
Yeah.
But it's always a purpose behind it.
Right.
It's a difference if you gonna hate
Not just
for no reason.
Right.
You just a lame. But if a person got, you know, and somebody that you trust got a real reason and he know once he make this point, you know why, Fat Boy, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You might like this, but you know what I was thinking about? You know, this kind of sound and feel like it was inspired by, you know, and whatever it is. And I'm most definitely going to take it in consideration.
Do you know about how many pair of shades you own?
Honestly.
A guesstimate. And you wear like you get real shades. I just found these shades at this kiosk for $15, right?
Damn.
You wear real shades.
Damn, you go down to
You're like, big, I feel for you, homie.
Santy
Damn. But you $15, not $1,500. $15. And then I bought some other ones for $60. I thought I was tripping. Let me tell you a real story, homie. I went on vacation, right? And I went to this spot, you know what I'm saying? A spot you probably wouldn't even walk in to buy your glasses. I went in to buy some shades, right? And I paid a certain amount for them. And then when I walked down the way, I saw some for $60. Then I was like, oh, what I did, boss. I went back and took the other ones back that I paid for that was more than $60 and went to this spot and got the $60 ones. Then as I started walking a little bit more, I saw the $15 shades. So I took two of those pair back
You
and
went
got
back
the
again?
Man, yeah, bro. Yeah.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? It's real in the field.
Big boy, you know your money long. You've been rich a long time.
Yeah, let you
could
tell
buy
it.
those little shades.
Oh, really though? Oh, okay. How many do you think you own?
I don't know.
You think over 100?
Over 100. Shit, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, man.
But these are real shades, bro. Like,
Yeah.
About 1,000.
what are these you wearing
I got
now?
Racks. I got racks.
Racks?
These some Porsche Carrera shades.
Wait.
Oh, you got the Carreras.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Porsche Carreras.
Yeah, the
These
Porsche.
are-
We got those.
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah.
Just a quick story. I actually went and bought some shades out on what's that strip name slab yesterday?
Fairfax?
Melrose.
Melrose.
He don't know. He don't know.
Right. He
It's
over
a
there,
hill.
Fairfax.
Yeah.
Sunset,
Rodeo.
Rodeo.
You know, when we out here, we just listening to all the old West Coast music. You know, we smoking good. Shout out to Sugar Free. Shout out to NWA. Shout out to Snoop, the whole team. But we was out on what street you think it is?
He probably
Melrose.
taking that road, like all the little shops and everything.
Yeah. It's right across the street from Undefeated.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
called
yeah.
Sunglass Pimp.
Okay.
Big fat cool guy in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If y'all go in there, you're gonna see some dope vintage
bro.
shades from
Pieces.
the
Being
80s.
that you went in there,
Yeah.
I'm not going in there.
Right. I know I can't afford that. What am I
might be
going
a
in there
good-
for?
It might be a good decision.
Yeah,
It might be-
because
We're gonna go window
because-
shop.
Yeah.
Right.
Those
what
are
are we doing in there?
$1,500 and better. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got $15.
Oh, really though?
For some old glasses.
Hey man, and your glasses never be scratched or nothing like that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take great care of your shades. I F mine off, bro. That's why I got to get the 15s and the 60s.
But what I do have is a room full of shades that I put on injured reserve. You know
Really
what
though, I
mean?
heard
Yeah.
that.
Injured reserve.
Do you ever gift a pair to someone?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
It's a number.
So you saw
Yeah.
where I was going with
the
this.
shades is a person.
You saw where I was going with this. Huh?
Yeah, shades. That's
So we gonna stop that
Yeah,
right
not
there.
even
That's a
not even
personal
during
thing.
interviews or when somebody's birthday is tomorrow,
Yeah,
or
man.
you know what I'm saying.
No, I'm gonna wish him a happy birthday, and not only that, I'm gonna post you on my story.
Hey,
There
it is.
Wow.
it is. You know what I'm saying?
Post
there
on
it
the
is.
story.
Hey,
That's
man.
a win.
Not only that, man. Shout out to what they call that. What that's called?
Yeah.
What they call that?
That's called bullshit. You talking about his hairstyle?
Yeah, his hairstyle.
That's
They
true.
call it a comb over, I
El
guess.
librito.
Something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
And what make it stay looking wet like that the whole day?
Men's cum.
Oh, man.
That's
Something
what,
about Mary.
yeah, that's what make it look wet like that.
It looks like it's called Men's Republic, by the way.
Okay. Men's Republic?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I
all right.
gotta,
I
I
thought-
gotta send you some of that Rich by Rick Ross, that haircut.
I
line.
saw that.
I gotta, yeah, that classic promenade. But Slab, do you think it would give him that effect?
We do have that styling mousse.
Yeah.
Man, send it
That's
over,
what he
boss.
needs.
That's what you need, that
Send it over.
styling mousse.
Styling mousse,
Yeah.
bro. So
Send
that
it
way you
over.
can get out that men's cum that you
Because
put
right
in
now it
your
looks
head.
like a cow licked him.
Yeah.
Swoop
Y'all
it
stick
over.
around y'all radios, man. Not only is the man bringing out
Oh,
another
my
hit
gosh.
album, this man told
got
him you
products.
need to get moose. You know what I'm saying? I ask you off air, how much are you down weight wise?
Man, I'm about 85, 90 pounds.
85, 90 pounds,
Yeah.
man. Being that I was over 500 pounds, whatever your highest weight were, you were definitely accepted. You know what I'm saying? Like, accepted, not pull your shirt off. People love you. You know what I'm saying? With being so accepted, why the weight loss though? Because you know how we took you as you were and as you
Yeah.
are.
You know, and I thank all the beautiful women that embrace my, I almost had a 2-pack. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
Almost.
saying?
You still get there.
Shout out all the beautiful ladies. But for me, it was just a real situation where I had a health scare.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I had a seizure.
Remember.
I had to go to the hospital, and I woke up and it was like, yo, here goes some medicine for this. Here goes some for this. And let me take your blood pressure. Oh, you hypertensive. You almost 2 weeks from having high blood pressure. I said, whoa, hold on. You overwhelming rose.
Yeah, hello.
Let's back this up a little bit. What we got to do. You know, and I just said right then, you know what I mean? I'm finna make some changes. You know what I'm
How
saying?
scary were the seizures? Because we were, we here in LA,
Right.
we would hear, and of course we report on it.
Yeah.
How many did you have?
Well, really, I may have had a total of maybe 4 to 5 seasons
Scary,
over
huh?
the last 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah.
But, mine came from not getting rest. You know what I'm saying? I was drinking codeine and not sleeping, and basically my body just shut down. So it was never a painful situation. I would have a seizure, wake up, tell Slab and Sam Sneak, cut the music back on.
Right.
In 15
That could be
minutes.
scary too, though, getting right back to business. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's just how I felt. You know what I mean? But the last time I had one, what was different about it was I had a seizure, and it's almost like I threw something up and something came back down. So when they took me to the hospital, them knowing who I was, them being familiar with who I was, they took me to the floor where the biggest doctors are at, and it's all glass, where they could just see me, and they felt just, treat me the best. And on that certain floor is you only go there when you have like a heart attack or a brain issue.
Right.
So that's how the rumor spread it, that I had a heart attack. But it wasn't that.
oh.
Right.
So you take your health into your own hands, and you say, I gotta do something different, else I'm on all these medications.
Oh yeah,
forever and a
most
day.
definitely. You gotta make that change yourself, or they gonna make it for you.
Right.
So when they tell you to make that difference, they've been telling me for the last 8 years, you gotta get rest, you gotta go to sleep. I can't. I don't want to.
Right.
I've been waiting for this opportunity 15
I can't sleep
years.
now, huh?
I can't
Yeah.
go to sleep. I'll sleep later.
And you know what I don't like to hear? People like, man, I'll rest when I'm dead. I'm like, nah, bro.
Because it's literally going to
well,
happen.
You're gonna die soon.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
When they
And
tell
I
you that,
understand the
go
grind,
ahead and
bro.
make your bed, write everything out on paper how you want it to go.
Yeah.
Get your will.
Because your ass is gonna check out.
How do you slow down though, or make things different? Because of
Changes.
course, when we say hustling, like you for real,
Yeah, I meant
you know what I'm
that.
saying? Like,
meant that.
and when you say every day, it's
Every
like
day,
every
all
day,
day. I
there
meant
it
that.
is.
I meant that.
So how do you prioritize, certain things for your health as well?
You just gotta cut back certain things, the things that weren't important. Now it's just about, it's more about business.
Right.
And when you get that serious, that's when you hit those, he changed.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta change.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm either die or stop doing what I worked my whole life for.
What about you say you're drinking lean? Do you pull
Yeah.
off or do you slow down or what happens there?
Oh yeah, you gotta do that. Rose, I had done got to the point I couldn't do it no more.
Damn.
Yeah, I had done started falling asleep at the red light. I was having sex before and I woke up and the girl just next to
Like, I'm done. Oh,
You're like, I'm
man.
still here.
Like, I thought you was dead. Like, hell no.
I'm ready. Let's
Like,
go.
girl, I done killed you.
That's that Tussinex, baby. Calm down. Everything's
Damn.
straight.
Damn.
So you do have to.
How would you dealt with that?
What, is she walking to you naked?
I would have been scared too.
You would
Like,
have been scared?
of course. You're
Passes
passing out.
Hey, can you
Yeah.
imagine if she
Anybody
was the
would've
one?
done that.
We would mess around,
It's a
coming the
natural
next day, be
reaction.
like, dude, they fucking killed Rick Ross.
Stop it.
You know what I'm saying? Or like,
that
man,
good? That's
yeah,
Show
I
him.
put this thing on him. Show
killer
that
thing.
black motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard, hey man, you gotta love, but you take that into consideration where it's like, man, either I do or die.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I really had a doctor's appointment and I went and sat in the office and it might have been me and maybe 8 or 9 more much older people in the doctor's office. And I remember none of us spoke to each other, but we all was looking at each other. And, it was just one of those feelings like, damn, I wonder what he here for. Damn.
Like, what's wrong with him?
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
just remember one older dude looking at me like, and he just gave me a look like, homie, you a baby. You
Yeah.
got your whole life in front of you. You better get your shit together.
Take
That
care
was
of yourself.
basically what I saw. And I was like,
That
you know
silence
what?
spoke volumes, huh?
He didn't have to say nothing. I understood. And I said, you know what? And I watched him as he got up, and had to go in the doctor's office. I watched him and I just was like, you know what? You the boss, homie. You got to make these changes without nobody forcing you. And that's what we do now.
And they say an ounce of prevention is way more than a pound of cure. Like once something happens, I always tell people, boss, I say, man, Rose, when it comes to life, I tell them it's like a credit card. Whatever it is, you could charge it to the game. If it's sex, promiscuous sex, drugs, alcohol,
ounce of-
obesity with us, you know what I'm saying?
An ounce of prevention is
worth
much
the-
more valuable than a kilo of cancer.
There it is. There it is. I see. I had
chill.
to put it in dope terms.
Yeah, man. That's in this book. Is that in your book?
yeah, on page 19. You know what I'm saying? Have you read Hurricanes? Have you read it? All right then. Like everything you saying in there, big.
feel me?
But for real, like whatever you charge to the game, that statement gonna come and
real.
you gotta pay it up.
Real language.
You definitely gotta pay it up.
Kodak Black earlier in the year made some comments about Lauren London right after Nipsey Hussle passed away. You have him on Florida Boy featured along with T-Pain. Was this before or even after he made those comments?
What
Kodak Black.
was the Florida Boy record?
Yeah. Was that made before or after?
We actually recorded Florida Boy early 18.
Okay.
Yeah. Early 18.
Did you have any conversations with Kodak in regards to his comments about Lauren and Nipsey?
Nah, no, I didn't. By the time it got to me, they told me what it was, and the people. I got some homies that's close to Kodak, and they sent the energy that of course, homie ain't mean no true disrespect. Whoop, 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 man.
You think sometimes he just speaks without really thinking of the consequences or what he's truly saying?
You know, me knowing Kodak, I know that Tussinex and that lean, I had you say some things, and you know, you may hear it a few days later and really realize what it was. But me knowing Kodak, I know he respect the streets. I know he wouldn't disrespect Nipsey Hussle. You know,
Have you gotten a chance to speak to Kodak since he's been incarcerated?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
What was your relationship like with Nipsey Hussle?
It was genuine.
Yeah.
It was early in the game. My first 2 or 3 times I came out here to Cali and I met him. He was one of the first artists that I built a relationship with, him and another homie, Dom Kennedy.
Yeah.
Dom
Yes,
Kennedy,
sir.
what up,
Yes,
Jay?
sir. Yes, sir. And through the years that y'all always caught up?
Always. We stayed in touch. You know,
When you see it starting to work, because from the ground level as well, Rose, like you put the work in. And then did you notice that also in Nip, where it's like, man, like,
of course.
when he say, you know, of course I don't need radio. The one thing I've known Nip for years, Nip never came to me and said, Big, can you play my record? You know what I'm saying? Or why? What's going on? Are y'all hating? He just always, when you say Nipsey Hussle, my man Hussle.
And it was genuine.
Yeah.
It was genuine. And once again, I understood he knew he had a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And from the very first time I heard him, and he gave me a CD to ride to.
Yeah.
And I took it back and I was like, yo, I want to expand MMG. And man, I met 2 dope young dudes, Nipsey Hussle and Dom Kennedy. And, you know, those were the 2 dudes I had the conversation with about joining Maybach Music.
How do you keep that clutter out of your head? You know how there's always something that's being negative. There's social media. There's, you know, everybody's a critic. You know, more people want to put you down than build you up. How do you keep that?
Because I
clutter?
just follow my heart. And there's nobody that could tell me what's dope when it come to this game. They can't tell me what's fly. I don't care who you are. You can't tell. I know what's fly. I know what's dope. I know what beats. You know, and and once I believe in something, I believe in it. That's just like when I met Wale. He had just came off a bad experience with a major label. And I was in a place where I could sign almost anybody I wanted to. I didn't let that deter me from signing Wale.
Right.
Meek was around other major labels, and those situations didn't work out. I didn't let that deter me from signing Meek. Same way I offered a situation with Dom and Nipsey. And, you know, they didn't work out, but our relationship continued to grow. So when we stayed in contact and I watch them record music, watch them collaborate, watch them discuss $100 mixtapes.
Yeah,
and,
man.
You know, just all that.
The vision.
I understood he knew. He knew what he was here for.
Does it ever trip you out when you look back at your own career and all of the artists that you've inspired that have paid homage to you, that list you, that talk about you, just like Nipsey? I don't think that there was ever a time that he came in here that he didn't mention you.
You know that, and it mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? It mean a lot. You know, and to me, it's I like to let dudes shine on their own 2 feet. I don't like to take, you know, an overly large amount of credit for their success because you couldn't do it. I couldn't do it for you. Or everybody I ever signed would have been diamond. You know what I mean? So it's dope. But, you know, when I executive produced French Montana first album, you know, the records, you know, we did with Self-Made, the collaborations. I was happy to put Kendrick on Self-Made 1 or 2. And I remember, you know, we just had a good time collaborating, and that's just me staying in touch and being a fan first. You gotta allow yourself to be a fan of the music first. Let that dictate the music, then you be an executive.
Rose in the neighborhood. Do you still own Wingstops?
Big time.
Hell yeah, he does.
How many do you think you have? Or how many you know you have? You don't know.
I don't know.
Man, how long have you been owning Wingstops?
Over a decade.
This
now.
dude ain't brought one wing in here ever.
You didn't bring me no lemon peppers.
Yeah.
You know what?
Lemon peppers
You
a
know I want
business.
those.
You know what? I might need to take you personally to
All
get
right.
some lemon peppers.
Yeah,
Take me
take us
personally.
personally,
Take
man.
me
Yeah, man,
personally.
we're on
Yeah,
board.
take
I
us
like that.
personally,
Yeah,
man.
No.
In
I'm
a Maybach.
gonna
Me
have
personally.
you guys.
I've never been
Send
in a
something
Maybach.
delivered.
Please,
Oh,
that's
you gonna
how
have us
say it.
delivered?
Yeah, I'm gonna have you guys delivered, and I'm gonna get you that moose.
All right,
Hey,
man. I'll take it.
there
I'ma
you
get
go.
you that
All right,
moose.
so
I get to go
let me see if I
personally.
understand this. She goes to Wingstop personally.
In a Maybach.
Right.
We get our wings delivered.
Delivered.
Right.
And
I
he
hair
get
products.
moose for his birthday.
Right, moose.
All right, okay. All right.
Yeah, we winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We're winning.
Is that we winning?
Yeah, we
We're
winning.
bossing up.
Yeah, we winning.
Okay. All right.
Who you
I like
who Who you got your money on? The Clippers or the Lakers?
Lakers.
Oh,
Oh.
Hey,
Clippers or the Lakers?
Lakers.
Whoa.
No.
Oh, this is discrimination.
Is it?
Oh, there's no discrimination.
Clippers or the Lakers?
Lakers, come on. What kind of question is that?
What? The?
Wait, you a Clipper
Boss,
fan?
Like
boss,
what?
do you know where you at?
So
This the home that the
Boss.
Lakers built, bro. Don't
Yeah.
read this new bullshit that's coming.
So-
bro.
Don't subscribe.
it's only right
gotta
that
prove.
it's only right that when you bring up Wingstop, you bring up Mr. Leonard, who's now with the Clippers.
Why?
That don't make a
Why?
difference.
I love him.
He don't.
I love him.
Yeah.
This is you didn't
That's
say
So
Lakers.
by them recording this, when the Lakers face the Clippers, who
Yeah.
gonna win?
The Lakers.
The
Lake
Lakers.
Show.
And then by them recording this, if they don't, I'm going to delete this off the interview.
You ever seen?
Oh, I was finna say.
Yeah,
because-
you know what I'm saying?
I was finna
I'm always
say.
right, boss.
Okay.
You know what I'm
ain't,
saying?
ain't nothing wrong. That's something that Sam Sneak would
Look
do.
around. That's
You
that
have-
big boy's neighborhood.
Have you ever
Come
looked
on.
up in the Staples Center and seen all the banners hanging up in there? All the championships?
Oh, go ahead now. Go ahead now.
Have you?
Oh, you cut my mic off.
No, not at all.
I'm waiting for the
was
answer.
saving you.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
See?
No, that was something that Sam Sneak could do. He'll do the YouTube. So I respect that.
Yeah, so man, come on. You really think the Clippers are gonna have a better season than the Lakers?
Oh man, it's exciting to me.
Yeah.
This most definitely exciting to me. But to me, the Lakers most definitely gonna have to prove themselves with that new core.
Right. What about
Definitely.
what about
They have a lot
Miami
to
Heat?
prove.
Don't nobody love LeBron much as Rose. You know, we done got rings together.
Yeah,
You know
hello.
what I'm saying? So you know,
What do you think the Miami Heat gonna look like
we
this
got
year?
we got a lot of work to do. I ain't scared to say that.
I heard that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still the Spostra Nostra.
Go ahead.
You know, to the past, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pat Riley, you know what it is, and the whole team. I'm still a Heat fan, but Jimmy Butler was a great, you know.
Let me show you how much of a floor seat whore I am, bro. You invite me to that Clippers game, I'm going with you though.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? You invite me to that game, brother.
That's what it's
You
about.
gonna see how $3 bill, how fake and phony I am.
That's what
Because
it's
I'm gonna wear
about,
the
but you
Clipper
know-
jersey, and then that's why I'm gonna be like, man, it's all LA, man. What you talking about, homie?
I'm gonna keep it real. When Kyrie dive across your lap for that rebound, I'm sure he's gonna do that for you.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Man, you really think the Clippers are gonna have a better season than the Lakers, huh?
It's a lot of it.
See, you turning your own mic
Oh, yeah,
off.
you turn-
That's your arm.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You up? You say you got
Look
to.
at you cut my mic off.
No, that's all
it's
you,
a
bro.
conspiracy.
That's your rope.
It's Lake Show
Hey
conspiracy.
man, that's your rope. You do whatever what
It's
you
the
want to do
Lake
with your
Show
rope. You know what I'm
conspiracy.
saying? You can jump rope or put that shit around your neck.
Hey, Bron, I hope you listening to this, baby. They tweaking that mic.
Hey, Bron,
Lake
and
Show.
I'm gonna say to Bron,
Tell
Come
them.
as in
here.
LeBron, I hope you listening, man.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man.
You got Kawhi's number?
No, I don't. No, I
Call
don't.
him up.
But he love Wingstop, so I know
Yeah, he
we
does.
family.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Connected
Right.
with the wings.
Well, I mean, what you gonna take him to Wingstop with you?
He
Or
might
you
have
gonna
to
send
take
him
me to-
something?
He might have to take me to one of his Wingstops. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man.
And we have. I may take you with me.
Oh, okay. I thought you
But
were
you
ready
know,
to
I
take
think
Man,
I
but
he's
you
gone
know,
after
you know
this.
when
Hey,
we
dude,
sit down and
if
we
she
had
go,
them
we
lemon
all
pepper
going.
wings.
Okay.
If the conversation
We
come
all
up
going.
and I ask you who you
Lakers
rooting
or
for,
Clippers?
you got to keep it real.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Lakers.
Come on now.
Yeah, don't sell out for no wings.
I'm
I
not
can buy
sell
you
out.
wings.
Come
You know
on
what I'm
now.
saying?
You got to do it for the lemon pepper.
I'm loyal.
Hey, man.
Look.
You got to do it
I'm
for the
happy-
lemon
Get on
pepper.
goddamn
Lemon
wings,
pepper
homie.
wings.
I'm
Get
happy-
on
he said
goddamn
20
wings.
It's Rose, the
I'm happy
Kyrie,
for the
and lemon
Clippers,
pepper
but nah.
wings.
Hey man, you send me a 50 piece, I'll say to the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Send me 50 flats.
Now
Send me
you,
50
now
flats.
you talking.
Flat.
Yeah, send me
Now you
50
talking.
flats right now.
Because
man.
I know-
Branch.
Because I know y'all need 15 pieces.
Hey man,
15
that's a
wings
good
apiece.
bar.
and them wings are damn near $1 a piece, bro. Y'all,
Hell yeah.
is there a board meeting you can go to bring them,
You got any
to
coupons
bring
with
them
you?
wings
I
down?
was trying to take it to $2 a wing, but
Really?
they stopped me.
Boss.
Rose
They're
was
like, chill.
Boss, with the Hurricanes coming out, a memoir. What are we gonna?
A what?
Oh,
A memoir, right?
Oh, who?
Whoa.
Is it a memoir?
Hey
You
man,
sounded like Johnny Dang right
Yeah.
there.
Is it a memoir? That's what you say, right?
yeah,
A memoir?
Yeah,
That's how
you
you
got
say
you
it.
got you got to
Okay.
be able
That's how you
to
say it.
Got
All
it,
right.
man.
I was
You
gonna
got
say,
it.
is there
Yeah.
anything in that book that's gonna
You
make
should have
people
show left
mad?
that question to me, bro.
I'm sure it is.
Wait,
Yeah.
say it again.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
anything
I'm
what?
sure it is.
Is there gonna be anything on the book that's gonna make people mad?
I'm sure.
Friends,
Yeah, yeah,
relatives.
I'm sure. I'm a ruffle a few feathers.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
But it's your story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
most
Like
definitely-
you can't get mad at me for telling my story.
Of course, people
Right.
gonna get mad. That's what they do. I don't mind it. But what's important is, you know, me coming in the game, of course, I always accepted being problematic in 06, 07, 08. That was a part of the exciting game of hip hop to me. You got to bump heads. You got to establish yourself so people understand. And as you can see now, I knew my first few years coming in the game, I wanted to have those differences just for everybody around me to know this is what I love to do. I don't mind doing this. Don't play yourself. I'm gonna enjoy, you know, and that's what it was about. And so that's the way I approached the memoir. I approached it like a film. I did it just like a movie. So of course I ruffled feathers. I did all that.
Why write the book?
Because that's something I may have stepped the gas on a little more coming out of the hospital.
Yeah.
You know, I had a few offers for books for the last few years, but it was nothing I was really interested in till after I came home, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna step on the gas for a few things that I may not have done before.
Is it crazy that you are an author?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I'm the one that I was maybe the last one in my class to learn to read.
Really though?
First one.
What
to
kind of
write a
student
book.
were you? Yeah. Last one of the last to read, first to write.
God is great. God is great. What
Read
kind
my
of student I was?
Yeah.
I was a horrible student. But you know what I realize now is, you know, I'm no longer embarrassed to say I never learned my I had a problem with multiplication. Pre-algebra, that shit looked like goddamn calculus. to me.
I hate math.
A equals X.
Yeah.
Like,
I- in my life, I still haven't needed that. So
true.
they shouldn't even waste my time with that. But the thing about it is, what I realized is my best days in school was when they showed films. So I think they shouldn't have labeled me a slow student. They should have put me in the school where you just watch films all day.
You're a visual
and I
learner.
think I would have been a genius.
I heard that.
Take away math.
So what do you get now with making sure that people read your book? Because you know there's some people like I remember years ago I wrote my book, right, and I did my deal through Cash Money, and with Cash Money
Did
I remember
Birdman pay you?
Yeah, hell yeah he did.
You got paid?
Oh yeah, he did. Should I go get more? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Well, shit, maybe I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Did Birdman pay you?
Yeah, maybe.
Does baby have your money?
Yeah,
still? 'Cause he
yeah,
probably
like-
does.
Nah,
But that was a good move.
But
That was a
just
good move.
aside from that, but the reason why I said that, I was like, man, he said, you know why a lot of us don't read books because we haven't told them to yet. So your book, Hurricanes, may be the first book that someone will pick up and read from beginning to end because someone that we trust wrote it. You know what I'm saying?
could
You would have
relate
read
to it, too.
Hurricanes from somebody else
Right.
that you trust and you looked up to as probably one of your first books that you cracked open.
And the funny thing about that is me watching Stunner, Cash Money, those the type of dudes coming before me that inspired me or even planted that seed. You know, same way Master P did with the films.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I got the hookup. You know what I'm saying? Ice Cream Man. I feel that whole wave coming back. You know what I mean? Next year we gonna launch our film company for the first time. You know what I mean? So, if one person read the book, it's worth it to me. But I believe a lot of people gonna read it because I'm talking some good shit.
Was it
I wanna read
different
it.
going into like the layers? You know what I'm saying?
course.
Like damn, I'm
Of
going to
course.
say this. I'm going to expose
Of course.
myself as well.
Yeah. My partner that I had helped me write the book, Neil Martinez. You know, when I first met him, he was, you know, a New York Times bestseller, this and that, and you know, some of his books have been picked up to be turned into films, and he had all the, you know, the medals and all that. But when he started spending time around me, flying around me, you know, staying at my house, you know, one morning I woke up and was like, yo, he's an agent. It's an FBI agent.
Oh, you woke up like that?
Yeah.
Like, who'd I let in?
These questions. I ain't sure about this. Until, you know, of course, we got past that and, you know, we put together a dope piece of work. You know, he spent a lot of time.
He got
spoke
your language too, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
He spoke to over 75 of my closest friends and family members. So this is going to be real informative if you really wanted to know my story and how real it was.
And that's September.
Yeah, September.
Hurricanes in September.
You can
Looking forward
pre-order
to
it
that.
now on Amazon.
Looking back at your career, your life, what advice would you give your younger self looking back now?
Oh, man. You can't pistol whip nobody protecting your property.
Damn, yeah. That is. That's a good one. We find that out after we pay the tuition into the School of Experience. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you can't leave the blood and all that on the floor and all that.
Clean up.
You're going to get sued.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to want $10 million.
How do you stay out of a lot of the frivolous lawsuits and like I said, everybody's on gotcha right now, bro.
Right. You got to understand it's either goofy, and if you real, you understand that these lames will do anything to put themselves in a position to be able to file a civil suit.
What about, and now did you saw recently what happened with ASAP? And it appeared that he wasn't the agitator nor the aggressor. I felt like he wasn't offensive, but his defense was immaculate. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about Sweden and what's going on with ASAP Rocky now? And not just Sweden, like, oh, I'm not going to Sweden to get my money, but what's going on with ASAP in Sweden?
I mean, if somebody detain you for 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, let's say they find you guilty and decide they're going to prosecute you on Thursday. Your trial begins the following Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck difference is going to happen from you deciding to prosecute me Thursday to my trial beginning Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
You know they're going to find him guilty.
Damn.
He's already, you going to find him guilty. It's fucked up.
Damn.
Man, and we hear people that say, man, I'm not going to Sweden. But, you know, there's fans out there. How do you detach yourself from what's going on with ASAP and still being able to satisfy Rose fans? Are you on a Sweden boycott?
You know, I can't say that. But most definitely, Sweden is not high on my list to fuck with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if I ever decided to go to Sweden, whatever I was asking for before, multiply that by 5.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And and most definitely they're gonna have to make some new arrangements. So the love and the pictures and the selfies that was going on before in Sweden, you wouldn't be able to get none of those.
I heard that.
You understand?
And we just
That
saw
experience is
Future
real.
bodyguard with a
Yeah.
situation. It's like, and everybody doing things for the gram as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Like getting in the camera, taunting
Doing
people.
too
You know,
much.
like.
And you know, I pray everybody get out of that phase, because you know something bad gonna happen to somebody playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know you can't. And from my understanding, Future bodyguard was maced, jumped,
Hit with a rock.
this,
rock.
that, this. You know that
Kicked.
was, you know. I ain't gonna say what I,
Say less. Big Boy's
Big
Neighborhood.
Boy.
Big boy,
Rose in the
There you go.
neighborhood.
Rose.
Big time featuring Swizz Beats.
big time.
Come on, man. Jordan Woods in the video.
Yeah, shout out to
For
Lovely
right
Jordan.
along.
My
Wood.
little
Jordan.
homegirl.
Yeah,
How does that come about? You know what I'm saying? And especially
video's
perfect timing when that's more of that gotcha. People talk crazy. You know what I'm saying? Why go that direction as opposed to
because
man,
as
I
a boss,
can't.
you want to support, young sisters that's shining like that. You want to support them. And I actually was out here in L.A. filming an episode of Hip Hop Squares when
Go
I
ahead now.
actually met her. She was real, real quiet,
Sweetheart.
real cool, real relaxed.
and just could get anybody in the video.
Right.
Why Jordan? That's by choice.
Most definitely
Yeah.
is by choice. I feel like right now is the time she should be establishing, who she is and her star power, because she most definitely, to me, a star.
Do you feel like sometimes, man, the media portrays people a certain way, or we like to get on whatever the popular bandwagon is to make somebody unpopular?
I
or-
just feel like, we as individuals got to understand the media has a job. And if you let that determine your decisions, that's on you. You
Gotcha.
understand? But, if you listen to the media, Rose wouldn't be here for album 10. And the other artists that MMG launched wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of different things. If you were to listen to the first opinions of a young Nipsey Hussle,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have seen what Nipsey
Yeah, we wouldn't have got the
potential
victory
was.
lap.
Of course, we wouldn't have got the Grammy-winning victory lap. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Grammy nominated.
Grammy, he won it to me.
Yeah, hello,
My mind-
easy call.
My mind made up.
That was
They
the
need to
Grammy.
go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
ship the little glass.
And so, where's your relationship with Jordan Woods now?
Oh, she's super cool.
Yeah,
She's super cool.
you gonna sign her?
You know what? You know what's funny about that? I gave her a nickname. Her nickname is Butter Pecan.
And why?
Y'all hit up right now because she a scoop of butter pecan. But
Scoop.
a conversation we had, we was laughing, and I told her, I said, I'm ready to hear that music. She said, Rose, give me 6 months.
Damn.
Yeah, and she started laughing. So I don't
6
know if she
months.
was. I hope she know Rose was serious. I might have Sam Sneak start sending beats today.
Easy calls.
How do you bring Pusha T and Lil Wayne together on a track?
The only way you do that is without telling them.
That's the perfect way.
So to me, it's like, I'm fans of both of those dudes. Weezy, my family. Pusha, we was super cool. Always super cool. Still is super cool. And I felt like if it was anybody that was going to try to do this, it should be me.
Yes.
So what I did was sent Wayne Maybach Music 6. He blessed me. I took this instrumental, sent it to Pusha T. He sent me an incredible verse. I put the record together. The question is this the time to release the record? That's what we're going to have to see on August 9th when we release the album. What's dope to me about it is we sparking a conversation so we could watch the big homies one day put that behind each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I love about seeing that.
Yeah, and this is a conversation I had with Gucci Mane, Yo Gotti. This is a conversation I had with Meek and Drake. And of course, we see it may not happen when we wanted to or initiated to.
Right.
But
plant that seed.
yeah, plant that seed.
Start it off.
Because that's behind them now. That's behind
Yes,
us
it
all.
is.
How do you stay balanced between being great with Pusha T and being great with Drake, knowing that there was a little bit of friction there? Well, not a little bit, but there's friction there.
For one, it's genuine. My love for Drake is genuine. You know what I mean? He done came to my crib, sat with me. That OVO Rick Ross love is genuine. That's why, when him and Meek had differences, I consider them differences. not
Right,
beef.
right. I got you.
Beef is what we know. That's what's going on in Watts. That's what's going on in Compton. That's what's going on in Treetops. That's beef. This right here, this is differences. These are dope MCs. These are
Yeah, we
big
can get
homies.
past this.
Yeah, we could get past this. There's some things you can't get past, and that's when it's really fucked up. But this right here, we could get past. And I feel like when you get whatever you get off your chest, in that challenge of being a dope MC, I love battles myself. I love having differences. I love that challenge. After you get that off your chest, it's behind you now.
You gotta let it go.
It can only be a false sense of success. You ain't gonna get no paper from that. And I know the bigger move would be seeing all my big homies collaborate on a record. It don't have to be my record, but in the future, seeing them collaborate. Can you imagine what a Wayne, Drizzy, Pusha, Kanye collaboration to be? And all you got to do is let Rose pick the production.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Now.
And
By that.
basically, that's what I'm looking at, because us being, we big homies, we can't do the goofy shit that the other one's doing. That's why I would put the record together, and that's the furthest I would go without they love. I can't release it without they love. Now,
Gotcha,
on both
gotcha,
sides,
gotcha.
what I commend both of them for is they cleared the record.
Yeah, that
The
right
record is
there,
clear.
bro.
Yeah.
The record is cleared, but now it's bigger than that.
Yes, it is.
It's bigger than that. Now it's about, is this the right timing for those conversations? And if it's not, we won't see it.
Right.
You understand?
Do you
But-
see that coming also with you and 50, or you feel like man, we not there, or I didn't instigate, I'm good?
Honestly, I'm a businessman. If 50 Cent still had value, I may have been done it. But not being funny, not on homie
Right.
just ain't, he ain't that dude no more. Me and we was riding through LA smoking the Hate It or Love It yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Hate It or Love It.
Yeah, the Underground's on
shit
top.
was
Yeah.
dope. We was saluting Cool and Dre. That's Miami who did the production. Game, 50 Cent, that was dope. If he was still making music like that, of course, one of my dogs could hit me. Drake could hit me and say, Rose, I got 50 on the record. And if he was still dope like he was 8 years ago, Rose will lace that. Because I'm on fire. It don't matter who on the record.
Big Boy
Big
Neighborhood,
Boy.
Rose,
Big Boy.
thank you for coming
Thank
into the
you so
neighborhood,
much.
hanging
Much
out
love.
with us in
Thanks
the
for the
neighborhood,
gifts, too.
man. Yeah.
I got a few
Do you
more
think
for you.
that Port of Miami too was a gift?
Yeah.
He invoiced us for that. That's a businessman. You know what I'm saying? That is a businessman.
And congratulations on the album. It's nice to hear you back.
Yeah, man.
Much love,
and,
man.
and when we say back, we mean all the way through and
Yes.
through. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Not
yeah.
like you disappeared.
No.
But just to hear. And I'm telling you, man, when you listen to your albums, like, not only, man, sonically too, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, sonically, y'all mixes and everything, beats, productions, the way you deliver. So being able to getting a chance to hear a full project once again from you is good.
Yes, it is.
Not just for us, but good for hip hop, good for music. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you on that, man. And we really wanted to bring you to the neighborhood to celebrate you.
Yes.
Much love, man.
We got to
So-
continue doing this, man. We got to give these roses while we
Hey.
still here.
You better believe it, baby. Got to. Shout out to Drake, Gold Roses, the new single, August 9th. It's
Fire.
going down, baby.
Yeah,
Port of Miami,
that's
too.
already. You know what I'm saying? All you got. As soon as y'all say it's a hit, you know, I would just go start buying stuff that. You know what I'm saying? Like because I already know. You know what I'm saying? I already know it's a hit record. You know
Much
what I'm saying?
love, man.
Rick Ross in the neighborhood, man. Rose, Big Boy's
Big
neighborhood.
Boy.